The hottest new business trend that's taking over the globe. Fraud.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hey, I'm Mandy watching Swell Entertainment, and today we are talking about Crumbl Sydney, or Faux Crumbl. Faux Crumbl Sydney. As a California white girl, I am very familiar with Crumbl Cookies, okay? I am not particularly a big fan of them, mainly because years ago I started cutting out all of the just copious amounts of sugar and things like that. I love a sweet little treat, but a Crumbl cookie is not a sweet little treat. That is eating a whole cake in like a 5-inch round. That's what that is. You know, I'd rather just go and get a literal cheesecake than go and get a chocolate chip cookie that has my yearly sugar contents in it. But I've never gotten the obscene hype that seems to happen regularly on this platform. But like I've said repeatedly on this channel, the world is on fire, things are awful, and wherever people can get their happy hormones, they will get it. And if that comes in the form of they're not too overly priced for the amount of food that you get. The point is, people will get their sugar where they can get it. So I'm not surprised that there's a fandom around Crumbl. What surprises me is the fandom frenzy around Crumbl, because I know some people who just don't play about Crumbl Cookie. They will accept zero slander. Zero. The thing about Crumbl Cookies as well is it's basically like a cake in the shape of a cookie most of the time. And lately they've been doing a bunch of different things where it's like not just cookie, it's like cheesecake, it's banana bread, it's pumpkin loaf, it's things like that, because each week they have different flavors that they swap out. Typically they have like a chocolate chip and then they rotate other things. So they'll have like a birthday cake, it's the holiday season, it's October, so they have like pumpkin spice, they have a cinnamon swirl. Currently also have a brownie right now. It's like brownie sundae or something they're calling it. It's 1,100 calories in one brownie. I'm really hoping that they're lying about the nutritional value of some of these things so that they can like go viral with it versus like actually selling you that thing. Okay, because I've gotten whole bowls of pasta loaded with meat and sauce and cheese that don't equal that. Like massive platters of pasta. When it comes to Crumbl, there is more sugar and butter than sense. But really quick, let me take a second to tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Helix Sleep. To really get in the spirit of things, I'm even wearing one of my sleep shirts. I feel with everyone, sleep is incredibly important to me, especially since I have such an active lifestyle and I travel so much. Getting a solid night's rest is incredibly important for my overall health. There's tons of things that you can do and change to help promote better sleep, but obviously sleep starts with the most important part, and that is where you sleep. And that's why we are talking about Helix Sleep today. Helix Sleep is premium mattresses customized to fit your needs, shipped right to your door. I feel like mattress shopping is one of those things that was used so much in media, and then as I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't have time to go to a bunch of mattress stores and flop down on mattresses to see what looks like it's going to hurt my back or not. And that's why Helix's sleep quiz is perfect, because what you do is you go ahead and answer all the questions, and they will pair you with the mattress that will fit best to your lifestyle and your sleeping preferences. Super quick, and I got paired with the Midnight mattress. I've had my Helix mattress for about 6 months now, and honestly, I very much look forward to it every time I come home from a trip, and I know I'm going to get a good night's sleep on my mattress. Here's how your mattress is going to come shipped and how you can set it up. Don't worry, I did not get another mattress just for this integration. This is reused footage from when I got my mattress back in March.
That's upside down. It's upside down. Do you like the bed?
The way Hermes does, in fact, still love the mattress. Whenever I'm gone, I come home, he is passed out right on top of the bed. He loves it. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US. And they have a 100-night sleep trial so that you can test out the mattress to make sure that you love it. Helix mattresses include a 10-year warranty, and they have flexible financing options. Get started on your journey towards better sleep. Visit helixsleep.com/swellentertainment to get 20% off your purchase of a Helix mattress. And thank you again to Helix for sponsoring this video. I had heard nothing about Crumbl Sydney, okay, before it had happened. I didn't hear anything about it until they were posting about the lines and things like that, and people started tagging me in the videos, and they're like, Amanda, they did the Bridgerton scam but Crumbl version. At the time of me recording this, my video is not coming out yet for Bridgerton, but by the time this video comes out, my Bridgerton Detroit video will be out. So yes, I would say that this is a more likely comparison than the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow. From what I can tell, because they've now since wiped all their social media, because of course they have. Thankfully, I'm me, so I downloaded a handful of videos before this happened, because they left everything up for a very long time before they wiped everything. Very curious if the cease and desist or a lawsuit came through, because again, this is in Sydney. For those of you who don't know, Crumbl is mainly based in the US and they have no locations in Australia at this time, okay? So when Crumbl Sydney popped up, I think people just assumed that it was some type of a pop-up event to like kind of test the waters to see what it would be like, which would actually be the smart thing for Crumbl to do, is to do a couple of different pop-ups, international locations, obviously with the support of those international locations, as a means of seeing, you know, what is the demand in these areas, where would be the best place to set up a shop and things like that. That would actually be genuinely very smart for them to do. Crumbl Sydney started popping up, and Bondi Beach, I believe, is where the location actually was, and they were advertising that it was going to be a Crumbl Sydney pop-up, okay? And I don't care what they say. I looked at these video clips. It looks like, allegedly, they had taken some of these clips from the official Crumbl accounts, or that they got videos from other people's posting about Crumbl, okay? Because these people are not at all affiliated with Crumbl in the US. Not slightly. Crumbl did not come from the US to Sydney. None of that, no. These are fans of the Crumbl brand who decided to do a pop-up using Crumbl branding and the Crumbl name and import Crumbl cookies. The intro making sense now? Now their account now says like, oh, just fans that imported from the US from Crumbl. This girl saying that she was sketched out because it wasn't affiliated with Crumbl.
And then we got a jump scare because the girl who
it wasn't affiliated with Crumbl, but I saw it on their Instagram and TikTok. At some point, it does sound like they did change to be like, oh, not affiliated with Crumbl. But then again, you're selling Crumbl cookies, using Crumbl branding, using the Crumbl name. Not affiliated does not protect you at a certain point, okay? But then basically here, they have an official Crumbl cookie flavors sheet that they used, and it says Crumbl cookie milk chocolate chip, Crumbl cookie birthday cake featuring Oreo, a single cookie, $17.50. $17.50. 5-pack, one of each, $75, save $12.50. Crumbl cookie cutter, $15 each. Okay, I don't care if you say you're not affiliated with, just fans of. You have the marketing everywhere. Even these people that are doing the thing, they have the, that are like selling the cookies at the door. It's literally a sliding door. They have a table set up with the different cookies marked on the side of the boxes, and they have the blinds pulled down to block their faces. You cannot tell me these people did not know they were doing something illegal, shenanigan-y. And the official Crumbl boxes, including the registered Crumbl trademark. The main complaint and why people started asking questions is they were posting about doing taste tests of the Crumbl cookies, because this isn't really a thing in Australia type of thing. And so people were doing taste tests and they were reporting they were stale, which is usually not what people complain about when it comes to Crumbl cookies. Sometimes undercooked, sometimes more cake than cookie, sometimes too sweet, sometimes too buttery, sometimes falling apart, things like that. They're usually not stale or dry, anything like that. I believe the some of the newer like cake versions, things like they're doing like pumpkin loaf and things like that, banana bread, those things are what people are complaining are dry, but that would make sense because it's a different format than what the normal cookie looks like.
Trying the viral Crumbl pop-up in Sydney, Australia.
You know, it's not a bad cookie, to be honest.
It's just like, I would have made it $5. Yeah, but these shit shows.
They're edible.
They're good. They're yum, but
They're
the
edible.
way, the price, the hype, they're so much better.
Naturally, I go to the Crumbl Sydney account because at the time all the videos were still up. When I went to their account, I think they had just posted their response, because what they originally had apologized for is that they had sold out really early. They sold out very quickly. So these cookies did sell out. These cookies did sell well. They sold $17.50 cookies. And that's one thing that I've seen a lot of Sydney residents and Australian residents annoyed about. They're like, now Crumbl knows they can come here and they think they can sell their cookies for $17.50. The average here, I believe, is $8, cheaper in other ones.
In response to the not-so-great TikTok reviews, Crumbl co-founder Sawyer Hemsley said, "You need to try them fresh in the US. P.S. this pop-up is not affiliated with Crumbl Cookies. Yeah, so the Sydney pop-up event had nothing to do with the actual brand. It's been revealed that those involved flew to the US, bought the cookies, flew back to Australia, and resold them. The Crumbl Sydney account on TikTok had only made that fact clear in 4 out of the 41 videos they had on their account before the actual event. In its TikTok bio, the account states that the owners are not endorsed by the Crumbl cookie brand, but it's unclear whether or not that was added before or after the whole drama.
During the event they posted, "We've completely sold out. Thank you to everyone who showed up. To the people who missed out, we are sorry. See you at the next pop-up." And then here's another video, okay, of them advertising the Crumbl cookie pop-up, where it says, "Crumbl pop-up store today, North Bondi," showing all the boxes, 12 p.m. until it's sold out, very limited stock, first come, first serve. Showing the Crumbl branded boxes and their hands. And then this video, which I'm not sure when this is from exactly, but they posted, "Our Instagram was banned, the pop-up is still on tomorrow." Their Instagram did get banned. It says disabled your account. They blocked out the actual recent reason. My guess is impersonation. Maybe someone from Crumbl's legal team came and reported them or something, or maybe Crumbl fans like actually went and reported them. "We disabled your account. You no longer have access to Crumbl AUS. Account disabled on September 28th, 2024. It wasn't Crumbl pop-up. It wasn't Crumbl Sydney. It was Crumbl Aus. So Crumbl Australia. And we're supposed to believe you weren't trying to like impersonate anyone using their branding. We literally just talked about this. I don't know if I ever made an actual full video on this. I don't think I did. There was this whole cease and desist situation with F1 motorsport content, okay? Specifically on TikTok and YouTube and things like that. A couple of you reached out to me because you were worried about my videos getting taken down because you guys know I've been banned on Twitch because of live timings and things like that. My content is fine, do not worry. Quite a few creators that were basically getting cease and desist for various reasons. Some were openly violating trademark, like selling merch that said Paddock Club and things like that for podcasts and stuff. But they went after a lot of TikTokers that had F1 in their screen names under the belief that they were impersonating F1 personnel or were profiting off of the F1 brand name. They had the right to do that. The same way Crumbl has the right to go after you for using the Crumbl name as if you are the official account for Crumbl Australia, because you're using the Crumbl name that they have registered as their name. Even on the box, it has the R on there. Those are their boxes. You've seen the pattern here? Then they have a video that says, "We landed in Sydney. See you all tomorrow." Showing all of the boxes. Even the boxes look smushed. They look like they've been bent. They're not formed well. I don't know if they just did a bad job setting them up. So these are the videos advertising it. Who wants Crumbl Cookies? Showing videos inside Crumbl. Well, we are doing a one-day pop-up store in Sydney, showing videos of them, what looks like them baking the cookies. This has to be ripped off from the Crumbl like pages somewhere. See you all there. Because this is them making the Snickers cookie. Crumbl is landing in Australia. See, that does not sound like a fan pop-up event. We're bringing Crumbl to Australia. We're having fun. Yay. You're not doing that. Crumbl is landing in Australia. And then this is the video that I saw. And when I saw it, I was like, you're actually joking. Because they had a couple of things that they tried to claim. They tried to claim that what they had done was actually import the cookies from the US, specifically Hawaii, to Sydney. That they had like shipped it in and that it was like multiple orders and that was well documented and they shared receipts and things like that. But then on here, POV flying to USA to pick up Crumbl Cookies. Of them going to the airport, showing they are boarding from Sydney. Cookies secured, we are on our way back with them now. See you all on the 25th of September at 5 p.m. The pop-up was 5 days after they posted this. 5 days, which they claimed is in the proper window of like when you can eat those cookies. But you can't just transport the cookies. The cookies have to be frozen, and they're literally showing boxes of Crumbl cookies. Like a box of like a dozen Crumbl cookies that they have. That's not a frozen box. You can't just ship giant frozen boxes of cookies like that, especially on a plane. Oh yeah, this was a funny video. Someone made a video parroting this where it was like, Mudang is landing in our Bondi, is landing in Bondi for a 24-hour pop-up, where they were talking about going to go steal Mudang. I do have a full video planned for Mudang, if for no other reason than trying to get a sponsor to pay for me to go to Thailand so that I can see Mudang in person. So now, like I said, Crumbl Sydney has wiped all of their TikTok and their Instagram was banned, and now on their TikTok they have 0 videos, link to our response, not endorsed by Crumbl's, just fans importing. You can't just do that. Here's the docs that they have linked. This is what I screenshotted earlier, by the way. Hi, everyone. We want to address the drama surrounding the event. Drama, lies, fraud, whatever you choose to call it. You misrepresented yourselves with this event. Are you officially Crumbl? No, we never claimed to be an official Crumbl store. You certainly implied it, though. You don't have to explicitly say it. To explicitly, again, we talked about this with the Bridgerton event. Bridgerton themed, Crumbl pop-up. There's implications when using those that is still committing a crime. You are still violating someone's trademark by infringing on a brand identity, by co-opting the brand identity. Whether you are a fan or not, you sold items claiming to be associated, or at least giving the impression that you were associated with a major brand and selling their items in a capacity that seems less than legal. This clearly stated in bio and our comments. Our goal was to bring the authentic Crumbl cookies to Australia by importing the cookies directly from USA. Are they genuine Crumbl cookies? Yes, 100%. Because that was the initial concern, and what people thought were happening is that they were using the Crumbl branding, but instead of importing them or literally flying over there and bringing them back, they just baked the cookies themselves and then claimed they were Crumbl cookies. Yes, 100%. We traveled to the US to purchase the cookies and imported them with their original packaging. We did not bake them ourselves. See below for Crumbl recipes and matching brand transfers. So this shows that they spent about $2,663 and then $1,002 on two different orders. Online purchase from Crumbl cookie pair, matching bank transfers. Okay, yes, because that would be what it would be with the conversion. That's fair. You also showed the boxes of what you got. To properly import them for based on what Crumbl says, like, oh yes, you can hold these cookies for as long as possible, is if they're frozen. You showed a box of them not being frozen. Trademark concerns. Crumbl's trademarks are available at blank. We did not use their trademarks in our video or on TikTok. Crumbl cookies should be... You implied that you were affiliated with Crumbl. Whether you explicitly said it or not, people believed, at least some of them did, that they were getting authentic Crumbl cookies from Crumbl by going to your pop-up in Sydney. Crumbl cookies should be kept at room temperature in an airtight container for up to 3 days or refrigerated for up to 7 days. We kept them to these requirements. Some were warmed to enhance their texture, which is what Crumbl does as well. While most customers enjoyed the cookies, a couple of influencers felt they didn't meet expectations. We apologize. The ones you heard about that complained, that's just who, those are the only people that complained. Most people like them. We can't just talk about survivorship bias. Like this is crazy. While there may be a small difference in quality, some flavors may not appeal to some people. A lot of people have reached out to us who were there saying they were delicious and thank you for selling them. See below. And it's 2 people. Thank you. I got some and they were so good. Thank you for coming. Glad you enjoyed. Hi, Crumbl Cookie. We were in line today and we tried your Crumbl cookies. They are amazing and we hope that you can stay in Sydney. We love you. Thank you for coming. Again, at least that second message implies that that person believed you were the real Crumbl cookie. Profit and cost. This event was never about profit. We aimed to bring the cookies to Crumbl fans. We did not aim to make money, and some rough costs below. $4K on flights and luggage. Again, because they just... $6K on the cookies and packaging. $2K in duties, taxes, and customs brokering. Over $1K in staffing. Additional costs for microwaves, tables, venue, and marketing. With all these expenses, we set the prices without an intention of making a large profit. Because why would you make without making a large profit? You shouldn't have profited at all. Because this was not affiliated with the brand that you were profiting from. Reselling them. Importing and reselling is called parallel imports. Parallel imports are legal and more information can be found here at this website. Customs and compliance. We followed all legal procedures, declaring the cookies as commercial goods and obtaining the necessary approvals from Australian customs. We've attached the customs entry with sensitive information. I don't even know. Okay, I'll put all this on screen so you can see it. I don't get why, without making a large profit. This is so much work with so much risk attached to it. Listen, if you want to build a business, if you want to be a content creator, if you want to be an influencer, if you want to go and just eat Crumbl cookies to your heart's content, okay? Go do you. This is so much work for so little payoff with so much backlash and so much possible legal trouble. I don't get it. I really don't. Because, like, There are crimes, okay, that I look at and I'm like, I can see how you got there. I can see your reasoning. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I can see the process, okay? I can understand it to some degree. I don't understand this. What was the point of this? Was this a roundabout way of we really want Crumbl Cookie to come to Australia? Because guess what? It's happening. Because of all of this, Crumbl Cookie is saying they were accelerating their efforts to try and come to Australia. Cool. Cool. You guys will, they now know they can sell the cookies for that much money. They can charge that money for the cookies. So if like that was your goal, you did it. Like you can end this experiment. I don't know. Was this, I would almost even buy you guys doing like a social experiment. Like we wanted to show that like American identity is so pervasive that a sugary cookie that's stale, people will still love it. Like, I don't know, there's something there. Maybe talk to an anthropologist, a cultural anthropologist or something, or a social studies professor. I don't know. But like, there has to be something else here other than we wanted to make a buck, because this doesn't make sense. It's not computing in my brain. This is so roundabout and so messy and so beyond stupid. I don't get it. And it's all about cookies. It's cookie. They're cookies. They're cookies. Everyone that went to Crumbl Sydney, I am so glad no one got sick. I am so glad everyone is okay, because this also could have been, when you're dealing with food, there is a higher risk factor involved. This easily could have gone very poorly, especially because with Crumbl Cookies, there is such a high sugar content, milk content, things like that. I do worry about things like that when it comes to Crumbl, and the fact that these were transported so far and for so many days before everything. So thankfully, it sounds like no one has reported getting sick. That, I think, is the one silver lining here. And maybe there's a silver lining in that you guys are now going to get a Crumbl Cookie in the next year or so. Who knows? If you went there and you want to tell me what happened, please reach out. Maybe I can have you guys on the Twitch and we can talk about it or something, because I still feel like so many more questions. Please don't do this. Please stop. Please, there's so many less stressful ways to make money. I promise you. Than making a cheater brand. I promise. Did you go to Crumbl Sydney? Have you heard of Crumbl Cookies? Are you in a country that does not have Crumbl and you want Crumbl? Are you annoyed that I barely like Crumbl whatsoever as a basic California person? Let me know. Comment down below. Reminder, I stream on Twitch. Reminder that Swell Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Reminder to use code SWELL for 10% off on gamer subs. Shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting me on memberships. If you would also like to become a member, you can click the link down below and click join. If you'd like to follow me on all my social media, you can do that all up here. And that's me to have a little day. Goodbye. This is so much work with so much risk for, based on the numbers you're saying, seemingly very little money. It's just so dumb.